I'm here for Terry's Tuesdays talk, and where we left off last was when he started playing for Ronnie Jukes and Ricky Lee.
Yes, that's in the first instance they ever played for me. And Ronnie decided they wanted a duo with him, wanted a pianist and a drummer. But Ronnie was a bit obsessed with the Jewish side of things in the show business, which actually helped a lot because there are a lot of Jewish agents in London. So instead of me calling me Terry on the piano, I became Solly Silverman. And the drummer, Barry Button, became Sammy Goldberg. Became singing and dancing group. And we used to go around the clubs and we're doing very, very well. Right? And this is so, and it's a nice person on Ronnie. We've been going about 18 months. And in this time, they built the Greensbury Club. Big Greensbury Club. All the latest gear in it, all the latest lighting gear in it, all the latest audio equipment in it.
Fantastic.
We get to this point, and we've been going about 18 months with Ronnie, and the club had opened and got a pianist in from London, because Les didn't think he could get a local pianist that would handle the people that were coming in there. Right, in the meantime, we were Ronnie and Ricky doing all right, until one day, I think we were in a club in Sheffield, and me and Barry sat on the Saturday night, waiting for Ronnie to come and pay us for the week in the dressing room. And we sat there, and the steward came up to us and he said, "Are you going then?" So I said, "What do you mean, are you going?" She said, "Well, Ronnie's gone." I said, "What? Ronnie's gone?" I said, "He's gone on his holidays, hasn't he? He's gone to Spain. Him and Ricky and the lads are going to Spain on their holidays." For me and Barry sat there like lemons. So what do we do now? So I know money. Right? And by then I'd been married with 2 young kids. So anyway, I thought, right, we'll make the best of it. I'll ring an agent in Doncaster called Palmer Joyce. This is on the Sunday. And I rang Palmer up and she said, "Oh, I can think you up with some work, Terry, while we're away." I said, "Oh, that's fine." Anyway, about a couple hours later, the phone rang. And it's Les Bull from Greensbury Club. It's Terry. "I want you here." I said, "Why? What problem?" He said, "What problem?" He said, the pianist I brought up, he's run off with the drummer's wife. "I want you here to play for me up here." So here I went. I left a message through Ronnie's. He lived at Brinsworth. I lived at Brinsworth at that time. I lived not far from him. Put a letter through his letterbox. Explaining the difference. I thought, well, what'll happen? He'll get Vi back in on the piano. You know, his mother-in-law.
Yes.
I'll come back with him. He'll be all right. He'll be able to continue. So I went to Greensboro. Now, it was starting then to get all the big names in from the theatres. And the first act I worked with, the first top of the bill, was a guy called Dickie Valentine, who was the big name at that time. And in addition to that, you've got about another 6 or 7 acts on the bill of all denominations, of all different kinds of acts, jugglers,
Right.
fire eaters, all this kind of stuff. A variety show, comedians, you know, you got everything. Straight singers, sopranos, tenors, as well as Dickie Valentine, with a big star name at the time, the evil on last.
Yeah.
So you got the show to rehearse, so you had to turn up at 10 o'clock on the Sunday morning, rehearse. The priority was the top of the bill, and all the others came after, because they did a show for the men of the members from 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
All right.
Right? So you had to be on stage with everything ready after 2 hours rehearsal from all this lot.
Yeah.
For 12 o'clock. You know, then and you're on. And you're going through the show one after the other. For 2 hours solid, sweating, like, you know, making it sure. You've also got another 3 members with you. We had an organist who used to play mainly for the jugglers, to make the sound a bit louder. We had a photocopy machine. We used to copy things off. So we hadn't got a copy. We used to copy it for the bit organ, so copy it for. So you know, it used to work like that.
Yeah.
Or the ballad singers just wanted piano, bass, and drums. So that's what that. Or you used to come and play them off. You know, like boost the sound up to play it off the organ. So that's how it worked, and it worked quite well. So we had a lot of acts from all over the world coming in, as well as the star names, including an act called the Korean Kittens, who were 4 beautiful girls from Korea, but only one of them could speak English of any kind, just a few words, to be honest. And they're called a Yoon. Remember that? The Korean Kittens. But what a beautiful act they were. Used to think, tell me what I say, da 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 da, and then they used to do a Korean thing called arirang, which actually is the Korean traditional number. They used to come back on stage in traditional dress, the Korean national dress, and all that kind of stuff. And they were the acts that were coming on stage. Even a chimpanzee called Sammy Jr. He used to set the stage up like a room with table and chairs and a bed and all that. But he never came on with a trainer. He did it all to music cues. So he had to, when he finished that, change the cue, change the music, and he used to go into the next bit. So he used to play him on as the businessman with a bowler hat, briefcase under his arm, in town tonight, he'd come in dressed in, reading the Financial Times and all this bit, sat there. Then as soon as they'd done that, put that down, change into tea for 2 and 2, and so he used to get his tea, didn't he? With tea, Ben butter and all that bit. Then eventually, it's time to say good night. Time to say anything. Take his old ball out, get changed, put his pyjamas on, his nightcap, now nightcap, clean his teeth and all this bit. And then, good night, sweetheart, he used to lay down in bed. And he used to put, at the side of the bed with a standard lamp. You used to pull that and it turned the lamp out, and that was the cue for all the lights to go out, including the band lights. So we're in pitch darkness, playing off his exit music. Right. It was quick to get him off, and he came back on stage with his trainer, and the lights went up, took his bow. But as he passed me on the piano, coming back into the dressing room to pick his trainer up, he used to nip me backside. And it hurt like hell. So by the time you get to Thursday of the week, you're sick of this, aren't you? My backside was black and blue. And I said to the trainer, why does he do that? He said, I don't know. He said, I have no idea. He does it everywhere he goes. Whoever is the nearest to him who's running out, the drummer or the bass player or whoever. I don't know why he does it, but I did it. But that's the fact that Sammy, I'll show him here, and Sammy Jr.
He's been taught to do that.
He hadn't, he said not. He said he did it. I also played for an elephant on stage called Tanya, who the week before had been on stage at the London Palladium.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've played for all sorts, Terry.
But who was on the top of the bill? The Shadows, the backing group of Chris Vicious, who was working on tour.
Yeah.
And they made a ramp from the side. Tanya the elephant come round the side, up a ramp onto the stage. So what they did though, they fetched everything off the stage, including the drums, the organ and everything, on the stage into like a little orchestra pit at the front. So we were there playing for the acts, and Tanya got the run of the stage then, didn't she?
Yeah. Wow. Variety is the spice.
Variety is immense. And then the stars from America started to appear.
Really?
Yes.
Where are we at Greensboro Social here?
Still at Greensboro Social Club, here.
People had a right social life, didn't they then?
Well, in them days, this place, they held about 700 people, right? They were paying about 5 shillings to go in and see a show like that.
Yeah.
Including the star name.
Yeah.
Bob Monkhouse used to go there quite regularly. He used to love it. And he was in the same bill, on the same show, Bob Monkhouse, there was a woman called Mandy Rice Davis. Never heard of her, have you?
No.
Well, she was in the Profumo affair, big scandal for the political parties. of the John Profumo, one of the ministers in the cabinet, went off with these two girls, Christine Keeler and Mandy Rice Davies, you know, girls of the night, so to speak, in swimming pool parties in London and all that, in the big houses. And he got caught out, didn't he, and demoted from government and all that. And it became a big scandal. Christine Keeler was the main one, but her sidekick, Mandy Rice Davies. Bob Monkhouse was on top of the grave. Who was second top? Mandy Rice Davies. Beautiful girl, right? We wondered what she's going to do. But she wasn't a bad singer, right? For the show in the afternoon, you know, lunchtime show for all the men, massive applause. Beautiful, thought it was great. On the same bill, on the same show, there were a comedy duo from Manchester, Sid and Eddie, who later became famous as Little and Large.
Oh, really?
At the bottom of the bill, first time in the area, from near Manchester somewhere, Elkie Brooks.
Oh, yeah.
Still singing today, Elkie. She is.
Wow.
She was about 17 then, 18.
Right.
And that, on that show. But at night, so Mandy Rice Davies had done a bomb with all the fellas at the daytime. So now they're in with the wives at night. Right? So she comes on and starts singing.
Oh, no.
Hardly, you know, that would go. The guys, they're flat, they're because they got the wives with them.
Oh, no.
You know, so like stories like that, they come through that club. I mean, I went there in 1961, and I went through that, including a host of names. Johnny Ray. I had to have a 12-piece band for Johnny Ray, who was a big star in America. He was in the film No Business Like Show Business, and I think he played a priest in another thing. He was another one. Then Jane Mansfield, the film star, was a big rival for Marilyn Monroe. When we did the rehearsal, when she turned up, we thought, "Oh, on earth is this?" We expected a big glamour girl, but she wasn't. She was in a Mac and all that. She got a retinue of about 4 or 5 little fellas running around after, hairdressers, dressers, makeup artists, all this bit. And we all looked at one another, the band, and thought, what they're going to think tonight when they see her, because she didn't do the rehearsal in the afternoon. We went in the afternoon especially to the rehearsal for her.
Right.
So she didn't do the noon show. So this little woman coming on, I thought, you know, because she's a big buxom woman, you know. And but when we played her on came Jane Mansfield, the film star, in all the they get wig and everything.
Really?
There she was. It's all that, you know. But by then they got the Batley Variety Club up and running.
Yes, I played that.
Yes, but that was after Greensbridge started.
Yeah.
By about 2 years.
Right.
Jamie Corrigan, who owned Batley, right, he used to come in every week. He always talked to the band, right, how they go, always bit. Then he went and got the design of the club from America and built it in Batley. So what happened then, we could share the acts to halve the cost.
Yeah.
So because we got a working men's club licence and finished at 11 o'clock, that would be finished by then. And then they went to Batley, who got a later licence to finish at 1 o'clock. So they could do a late spot there.
Brilliant.
So that's how it worked. We had the Bachelors, who were a big group at the time, doubling from the two.
Yeah.
And Jane Mansfield, doubling, etc. And all that.
Yeah.
The kind of thing worked like that.
Very efficient. Very
And then,
efficient.
all of a sudden, 1969, the bank foreclosed on the loan that they give to Greensbridge Club, because they were dropping in attendances, not a great deal, but they were panicking, right? So the club had to sell up and close, right? In the middle of all this.
Oh.
Still there, the building.
Yeah, I'm sure I've played it on Tegra.
It closed in 1969.
Oh, no then.
No.
Different Greaseboro.
There is a club in Greaseboro,
Yeah.
but it's not that.
Right.
So, what did I do then? Rotherham United had opened a nightclub on the ground at the back of the stand called the Windmill. And they asked me and the other two lads of the band, the drummer and bass player, if we'd like to do that. So I said, yeah. And what happened as well, they had a Steinway piano at Greaseboro. They took that down and put that there, in there. They also had the organ from Greaseboro, took that there. Right. So in between things, I used to play the organ with the bass and drums. And they used to have acts coming on, but just one or maybe two acts in the night. Nowhere near like Greaseboro. I've been there about 6 months, 7 months, right? I'd already, in that time, the manager, Tony Greenwood, had asked me what we could do with Sunday lunches. So I said, I know what we might do. Why don't we get together with musos? Why don't we just have a blow, a bit of a jam session?
Yeah.
Pass the word around amongst the lads in the area, and just see who we get in. Anyway, Sunday lunch came with quite a lot in. Well, had a nice session up there, or taking in turns to get on and off, and sax player, trumpet, and all this bit.
Yeah.
The following week, we were quite full. So I had a friend of mine called Colin Yates, who was a trumpet player. You heard of Colin Yates?
Colin Yates big band, yeah.
Right, here we are, Catherine. I says to Colin, we've got the nucleus of a big band here. Look, we've got 1, 2, 3 sax players, 1, 2, 3 trumpets, 2 trombones. Maybe for next week, can we get some music stands and find a pad somewhere?
And we'll just set up a big band.
Set up a big band.
No!
Which we did. Right. We also then got a singer in there, one nice singer. And I did some arrangements for him. I think I did Wichita Lineman and stuff like that. We did with the band. And it was doing really well. So Greenwood says, well, we've got a free Monday night. Let's put it on Monday night and charge for it on the door and see how we went. And it used to do really well. That was called the Herrington Yates Big Band.
Was it?
It was.
Well, I can't believe it.
Well, listen to me. This is the Peter Casson, who owned the nightclub in Barnsley called the Bar Club, which was a lovely club. Really classy. Proper nightclub with a dining area at the top, dance floor. Proper cabaret show with dancers in Barnsley. Right? I want you to come and be my MD. So I accepted. And I came to Barnsley to be his MD. That left the band there. Now it became the Colin Yates Big Band.
Which is still going today. Look him up.
Yeah. And that's the story of that. That's how that started there in the Windmill Club in Rotherham. Of getting the session going, the musicians coming in and eventually forming that band, being a good band like it is now, or was, I might tell you for a while. But that's how the Colin Yates Big Band started.
Right, I wish I'd have known that about 3 weeks ago. Colin Yates came to see my big band. Not my big band, the Take Two big band that I was playing.
Right, Colin.
Yes!
Give him my best wishes.
I will next time.
Just keep away from him because he's the devil with a go.
It's Terry.
I'm only kidding, Colin.